Hi, this is Ms. Cooper, and today I'm showing you how to work with the film processing reels for when you are developing film in the darkroom and just going over some common problems people have when they're trying to load them. So I have my film and my scissors ready. Now normally, of course, you would be doing this in the dark. In class we tend to use bags, but you can always use a very, very dark room. Even darker than the red lights in the dark room, just to be safe for your film. There are plenty of videos about loading tanks. This is mostly just about getting your film onto the reel, so I am showing you in the daylight. Now, we use bulk rolling in class, meaning our film is all hand rolled, so opening it is very simple. You just push it up with your thumbs and the ring will come up. So then you pull what I like to call the top hat, which is actually your spool, out. Again, in the bag, not in the daylight. This film has already been exposed. So now, floating in the bag, you have your film, and there's this part called the J. Now, this is the first thing that usually happens that can go wrong when people are loading it onto the reel. The easy solution is just to remember to cut it. Perhaps if it's not loading properly, you simply forgot to cut it off. It's not impossible to make it get onto the reel when the J is on there, but it can be kind of difficult. So next part is you want to make sure you are loading the reel properly. Now, right now you should just be loading it in, I call these the thumb buttons. You should be rolling it in using the flat part of the thumb buttons, not the curved one at the top. When you push it in, make sure it's only in a little bit. It doesn't need to be pulled all the way through. That's what this whole machine is for, is to roll it up easily for you. So then just make sure you're going up with your right hand and back down, and this will suck the film into the reel just fine. And you will keep going until you reach the end where the spool is. Sometimes you need to lift it up out of the way. Right now mine is kind of getting a little bit crunched. There we go, because it had too much of a tail. When the spool gets to the top, this is the next thing people tend to forget in the heat of the moment. You can just pull that spool right off. It's only taped on with some masking tape. Not too difficult. Just rip it right off. It is okay. There aren't any pictures on this particular part of your film anyway, so don't worry about the tape leaving residue. So now just pull in that last bit and you are good to go. Now, some people have trouble pulling these apart. All you have to do is turn it until it stops moving and then turn it a little farther. You'll notice it made that kind of squeaking, clicking sound. This is fine, this is normal. From that point, you just pull them apart and they will lift away. You can see how the reel has been keeping some distance between the parts of the film so the chemicals can get in between. So you can simply pull your film out. To put it back together, put the thumb buttons right next to each other evenly. It won't go together right now, but all you have to do is twist the right one away and it will hit a point where it can slide back in. So twist it until that point and snap it back together. Now, if for some reason it was ever snapped together wrong, I'll put it on here incorrectly, and your thumb buttons don't line up, your film cannot go on there. So all you have to do is do the same thing, twist it really far, open it back up. It might take a minute, and then you can open it back up. I'm going to put mine back together. One last thing that tends to happen that can throw you off when you are loading your film is it should have a ball bearing on each side, at least the ones that we use in our photography class. If one of them is missing a ball bearing, that means it will not go in, at least not without some help. So make sure you have a ball bearing on each side, and if you don't, let me or let your teacher know, or if you are watching this video because you do photography on your own, you may have to look into a new reel. So those are all the things that you should remember, and I will remind you because it is so important. You do all of this in the dark with your regular film. I'm only doing it in the daylight because this film is already exposed. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and if you do have questions or future video suggestions, please comment below and I'm happy to answer. Thank you so much for watching.